Hello everyone and welcome back to AP Bio with AP Playground. Today we're covering topic 7.11, Variations in Populations. Fairly short lesson today, but our focus is explaining how the genetic diversity of a species or population affects its ability to withstand environmental pressures, and we'll especially be discussing about the benefits of genetic diversity. And our suggested skill is argumentation 6C, provide reasoning to justify a claim by connecting evidence to biological theories. So we'll begin by linking genetic variation to extinction. Genetic variation is what makes natural selection possible. Different genes are selected for in different environments, meaning that in a population that has a lot of genetic variation, meaning individuals with lots of different traits, then those individuals that have traits that are advantageous and allow them to survive and reproduce in that environment, those individuals are going to survive and reproduce more, and over time the population is going to reflect that, and there will be more individuals with that certain trait than individuals with traits that don't advantage them so much in this environment. And variation can affect how much a population increases and decreases, especially in changing environments where genetic variation becomes so key. And populations with little genetic diversity are at a risk of decline or extinction, such as populations that undergo bottleneck effect. And when you think about a bottleneck, here's my beautiful bottle. The bottleneck is going to be a lot skinnier than the rest of the bottle. So if we were, let's say, to have 4 different kinds of marbles in this bottle, there's a lot of genetic diversity within the original population, but a bottleneck event such as a forest fire causes a lot of the population to die, and the individuals that survive this bottleneck effect are only going to be the red and yellow marbles. Then what's going to happen is there is now little diversity, and an environmental change can be problematic because if the environment changes and neither the red or the yellow marbles have a trait that allows them to survive in that environment, then the population is screwed, and there is a higher chance of having a trait that could be advantageous in an environment with a population that has more genetic diversity. This is also often seen in crops and monoculture. If all the crops in an area are genetically identical and one is going to have disease, then all of them are going to be susceptible to that disease, and we see things like the potato blight and the Irish potato famine as a result. At the same time, an increase in genetic variation can lead to more resilience within environmental change. So genetically diverse populations and ecosystems, so not only just individual populations, but the entire area involving all of the communities and all of the living factors and non-living factors in that environment, then there's more resilience to environmental change because there's a higher chance that there are individuals that have traits which allow them to withstand or adapt to the new environment that can be selected for within natural selection. And if everyone is the same, then no individual is better adapted than another individual, and that's going to result in like very detrimental effects if the environment changes and now none of the individuals are adapted to this new environment. And alleles that are beneficial in one environment may be detrimental in another due to differing selective pressures. And an example here of genetic variation and resilience is antibiotic resistance in bacteria. They're inherently able to resist antibiotics, these bacteria, because of heightened diversity within their populations, due to mutations, due to horizontal gene transfer. There is a high chance that there's going to be a bacteria that has an antibiotic resistant strain. And so even though a lot of the bacteria will die in the presence of antibiotics, this resistant strain will survive, will reproduce, and that will reflect the new population, and as a result, the population will survive and continue to grow. So pretty short lesson, but it's crucial to remember that genetic diversity within populations is always a good thing because that makes them more resilient to environmental change and selective pressures. We'll see you in 7.12 to finish off Unit 7.